here about this and that. Do that, and I can assure you those things will all come. If you give us a handful of days, just let us be completely foolproof when we actually unveil ourselves to the world. At that point, people will understand how legitimate, how much work and how much effort and how much money was put into the infrastructure to make this have a strong foundation. And once you have the strong foundation, right, you can't knock down the house. It's just about building the foundation. If I put something with a pretty exterior, but I build the thing on stilts, thing's gonna get knocked down when the wind blows, right? Like that's not what we're trying to build here. We're trying to build an unbreakable object that can sustain anything going forward. Like look today. Like I think I heard Ryan say that what you saw today. An announcement like that for a coin that's 5 days old could have easily taken out weaker coins and we'd be out of business. Game over. Everybody's out. However, we not only survived, not only had a little, obviously there's a little uncertainty in the alt space as a whole, but you have to look at what are the alternatives right now. Are you going to go into equities? Equities have been absolutely terrible. And there's obviously been a flight from equities into the crypto space. And regardless of what China is going to do with Bitcoin, that doesn't actually do anything to what we're trying to create with this ecosystem. So at this point, we're not even really on the map of China. We have I think a very broad base on the west coast of the U.S. and down in Miami and in the east coast of the New York area. So we are much more concentrated, where I believe we are insulated from a lot of those risks. So what happened is Bitcoin created an immediate hysteria. Bitcoin's down 20-30%, Ethereum's down 20-30%. The fact that we're kind of in that same neighborhood basically shows our staying power. If we can survive that, with no news.
Right. This guy with 45,000 followers on Instagram, it's not much, but it's something. He's coming into the chat now.
That's good. Yeah. I think just continuing to.
I'm so glad you came in here, bro.
I want to spread the word about finance. That's what he pretty much talks about on space. So
Yeah. I just want to make sure that the number one and another announcement I can make that is I don't think really violates anything is that we've replaced our entire kind of social marketing team, where we are bringing in a very high-end, very well-oiled engine that is a complete soup to nuts kind of platform that has essentially transformed other companies and built them from the ground up into massive enterprises. So not only are we controlling the liquidity, not only are we looking at the vision for the future and figuring out strategic partnerships, we are managing the image and the portrayal of this coin, so that there are always going to be people out there that are going to try to tear anything else down that they're not a part of. Because what does that mean, right? If they're not in this coin, and if a guy wants to launch a coin, he knows if he can tear us down, that money's got to go somewhere, so it goes into his coin. And that is the name of this game. So as long as people, but people just have to spread the word and have and I know I look in the DEX tools and there's the confidence ratings of each coin. So I would recommend and I would suggest that everybody please vote the uptick on those DEX tool confidence polls, because that'll only strengthen the community and it will not allow these predators from external.
Can you do a how-to video on how to do that for people?
Yeah, absolutely. You can do that
so that people can do that really easy. Not just a link, but just right how to do it. So it's super
very, very simple thing. I mean, you do have to have a DEX tool account, which having a DEX tool account requires you linking your Coinbase wallet, or whatever other wallet, if you're using MetaMask or Trust.
So you got to do it in the dApps.
So you got to do it in the dApps, and then once you're in there, you have a lot of extra, kind of more advanced analytical tools. I mean, it's something that you should probably dabble into that has much more advanced analytical tools, and it's really helped us. I mean, we have a team of like true mathematical engineers that are, from some of the best schools in the country that have really kind of helped me see this vision and try to help create this ecosystem that is a self-fulfilling, really a self-fulfilling ability to not only deliver news of having true utility, legitimizing the coin, but also having the actual utility and usage of it create value for the coin. Like this is the same model. Yeah. This is the same model. If you look back, and you can fact check me on this, if you look back and see what Mark Cuban did for Dogecoin, he actually is I get it, Elon Musk, he created hype around it and obviously got it to levels that reached kind of more mainstream medias and got them onto things like Robinhood and but it was Mark Cuban that legitimized the coin, and that not only legitimized the coin, created value, because Mark Cuban held, not only did Mark Cuban accept the coin as payment for tickets, memorabilia, merchandise, whatever it was, he held it. So all he did was continue to build.
And he's holding Emax, isn't he?
What's that?
He's holding Emax, isn't he?
I'm not sure about that.
Okay, we don't want him to.
Yeah. The bottom line is...
He's got enough money.
The bottom line is, we are, at this point, small enough where we're still flying under the radar of a lot of these people. And that's fine. I don't want to be in the radar of anybody. All we want to do is continue to slowly and steadily build.
Everybody tell their family.
I can assure you, you can trust in this coin. You can trust in this team. You can trust, you have people like Ryan who are absolutely, great resources, for information and for, kind of what we're doing. And I think the most important thing is we all need to be resources, and we all need to be...
Right, and that's what I was telling them before, Gio. Like, just keep what you hear and stuff is just, keep putting that word out when we're not on a chat. We're not, whatever we're doing and behind the scenes. Like, you guys, if you can, just kind of, reassure and say, you're working with us and talking to us.
This is all we needed to hear. We good now.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Listen,
you've been good.
Can I tell you guys something?
I know.
Can I tell you guys something? So the majority of the people that got involved in this, like we have a group or whatever, we came in here panicked. We dropped bags without knowing nothing. We started making up shit. We like, it might be this. Fuck it, we hitting the bag.
We got an insider tip from somebody who got it from somebody else.
Bro, it was.
And they told us
crazy,
Mayweather.
Man.
We were like, okay, this is big.
Yeah, we're like, fuck it, we won't hold this. And it went all the way down. I was thinking about selling out.
I told him not
when
to.
the Bitcoin shit happened, I'm like, oh, shit is over, fuck. And I'm still here, man.
Yeah, I'll give you a story of Ryan. We were, so this launch was months in the making, and again, the most important thing about a launch and what sunk, like I think I mentioned at the beginning of this, is what sunk many coins is not properly capitalizing and growing that initial liquidity pool to get to a point where even if a couple guys decide to get out right away and they have they get a little skittish that you're not going to actually sink the rest of the pool and of the coin. So we unfortunately, we're all kind of lined up, and we believed in this project, and we've been working on this project for months to get to the point where it was ready to be launched. When it was launched, there was, that initial liquidity thing and how we were going to build it up. And I think it was a little chaotic of an environment. And, at the time when we were finally told the coin is launched, I did not know whether the coin was going to be all set in its existing state, or whether we were going to have to relaunch it, or what the situation was. I told Ryan, our project's come up. I'm not sure what state it's in, but throw in 5,000 and trust it. And it was very early in the process, and within 15 minutes it dropped.
I put I think 7.
Oh, you ended up increasing it to 7 or 8.
Right.
So within literally 15 minutes, it had dropped 80%. It was getting close to zero. And Ryan actually said to me, I think I'm going to pull the rest out before it goes to zero. And I said, dude, let this ride, and they guarantee you to make millions. And this kid is sitting here, I don't know, $500,000 later. So the point I'm trying to make
close to
everybody
$1
is, so the reality is that
don't
everybody,
sell, even if you.
Hi. I have a question.
Yes, absolutely.
I have a question. I'm calling in from the UK. I'm just listening in the UK. What's the plans over the next few weeks or few days? I just tapped in. I'm just trying to find out. Actually,
Yeah, absolutely. It's a great question. And again, I think I said before, I know a lot of people want information, they want news, they want to understand what's going on. And that's why I don't know if you saw our release tonight, to kind of spread the word of exactly what we're planning over the next handful of days, weeks, and months. And, I think, to kind of outline it, we've, as I mentioned, we've spent a ton of time, energy, money, and resources in ensuring that our platform, that our website, that our infrastructure is absolutely flawless. We launched the initial coin. We launched it with a website that was created that didn't have any factual issues. It had everything that we wanted this coin to have. However, it just didn't really have the full 100%, creation by a full web design team. And we used one of the best web design teams in the country. So
where can we see? Is there a white paper coming out, or where can we see white paper?
So the white paper is in works. I've been asked that more times than I can remember at this time, but I can assure you the white paper is being worked on. And, not only is the white paper being worked on, but we have a premier legal counsel in the crypto space that is reviewing it and is actually advising us on the creation of that white paper. Everything we want to do the right way. I mean, if you remember Shiba did not have a white paper, which they actually called the wolf paper. They did not have the wolf paper to come out until months after its inception. So, we are miles ahead of where a lot of these other development teams have been.
So just to clarify, it's not. Yes. I'm sorry to cut you off. It's not. You wouldn't class Ethereum Max as because some people have said it's a meme coin. I'm not saying it is.
No, absolutely not. It's not a meme coin. It is. I can tell you
like utility use case, etc.
Absolutely. So I can tell you what we consider ourselves is a community coin. We consider ourselves a community coin because we believe in value creation for the community, for the ecosystem. And the reason we do that is that, yes, it was initially created with the idea in mind to just create value. Hence the value, the tokenization concept of the 2% tax on any transaction that gets redistributed pro rata amongst the holders. So that is to encourage holding amongst the community members. And we want to reward those who remain in the community for all the additional transactions that occur thereafter. So that concept will always be there. Now, that can only get you so far. Obviously, safe moons of the world and those type of coins also have that type of concept. So it's not like we were the first guys to ever create that. However, we also, just like now SafeMoon is attempting to, latch on with Barstool and Portnoy, we have, what we believe to be an equally, if not, greater relationship that we are leveraging in order to create utility, not only utility, but value creation and sustenance of the coin within the actual community and the ecosystem. So
are you going on any exchanges or anything this week or next week?
We got an BKEX. We just got on BKEX.
Absolutely. We have applications in for 5 exchanges currently. We will be announcing all the exchanges that are coming. Some of the very, very top exchanges will be announced. Yes.
Will we be seeing a live AMA at all with you guys?
We are planning that. We're still sketching out, kind of the outline of the website reveal,
Right.
and what we are actually, going to be providing on that day. I mean, we are working on a ton of things at the same time. We are really trying to sequence these events in a way that makes sense. And I think, everybody, I just urge to understand, in this type of environment and in this type of situation with where we are, from a life cycle as a coin, we believe it is extremely important to sequence everything we do in a way that will maximize value creation. So there are things just to finish this point, there are things that we would love to do today and that we could do today from a marketing budget perspective, from a financial perspective. Yeah. We would love to do it today. But strategically, I want every move I make, I want it to maximize value and price appreciation. So if
you're on it.
Listen, I've lived all my life literally for this moment for this all to come together. And I mean, I am as passionate about this project as any I've ever worked on.
I can see this. Yeah.
And
your new marketing team, are they going to be taking over Telegram?
Yes. So our new marketing team will
whatever. Or you said you got a whole new team or whatever or something. Are they going to be like?
So essentially, what they're doing is this is a team that has been absolutely renowned, for taking a number of products, over the last 5 to 10 years, and absolutely creating gigantic kind of, Goliaths out of them where. These products weren't very differentiatable. Like these products that they've created in the past were, they were products, but it's more what they were able to portray those products as, what they were able to create from a perception perspective from the public. So we believe that these, this team, which we think is absolutely best in class, once I had a 2-hour call with them earlier today to kind of get them caught up to speed with the project, the vision, and to be honest with you, they, even getting them on was a bit of a struggle because they had a number of other things that they were looking at, and they were brought in by somebody who's sorry.
What's happening this week going into next week? What are we seeing currently?
Yeah, we're gonna get an influencer or something this week.
Yeah, you'll listen. We have, I can assure you, we have very top end talent in that sphere, and we have access to anybody else.
Guys, I want to listen. Guys, I want to listen, please. I want to listen to what you're saying.
You want me to tap in on that real quick?
Yes. Why don't you take that one, Ryan?
So I just want to know what he's saying.
Yeah, I'm gonna touch.
You start with the influencers piece.
Yeah. So the thing is, like I said before, like the group of our friends and stuff were very. A few of us have a very big social media following as it is. Some with verified accounts already, and we do have a lot of, close personal friends that. For favors with, that are going to do us favors in the next few days with posting. I have two Instagram girls around, 300K following that will be posting another that has 3.3 million. In the next, probably tomorrow, you're going to see that. We have a few athletes. I have a hockey player that's plays with the Buffalo Bills that's going to be posting soon.
I'm starting to dance here.
Hey, I'm from Buffalo, man. I knew it. I put 50,000 in this shit.
Really?
Well, listen, I'll tell you right now that what he's talking about right now.
Let me hear.
Yo, I had a feeling about this shit.
I want to say one thing. What Ryan just said is the tip of the iceberg. That is literally a little shaving off the top of the plate.
These influencers we're getting now and are just kind of keeping everyone engaged. You know what I mean? Just to show you guys that we do have the network, we do have the outreach, and this is just little smaller influencers, a few 100,000. I mean, the one girl that's going to post 3.2 She's very big in the Latin community, where, you know, it's just going to bring on more and more. We literally have, like I told you guys, what I do for a job.
Yo, I need a cheeseburger, man. This shit is crazy.
I work with a lot of women. You know, women is my clientele. Very, very big women influencers. Like,
You can put it millions in Rodman's hair.
yeah, exactly. I can paint it in. So
I'm getting this shit tatted on me. Is that all right?
we
that's
already
a
said
fact.
we're doing it. We're already doing
Well,
it.
listen, I'll also tell you another thing that, you know, I can't fail what it looks like, but we will have a rebranded logo. We will have a absolutely fully redesigned and redeployed website. That will be unveiled this week. Again, we're going through the...
Okay, we like the logo.
Yeah,
Like
if you like this logo, wait till you see the new. I can assure you, like honestly, it's gonna. This thing is gonna floor you.
It's just gonna be a little
burgers on that. I can assure you.
It's gonna jewel. It's gonna
So
jet.
listen. So and then the other things, you know, I can just say, you know, without getting into all the specifics, are we are going to be announcing certain partnerships. Again, I whether that's this week or very early next week, that is, you know, still kind of working through the logistics. I'm telling you, listen, everybody can do what they will, but I can assure you one thing, that you have the absolute 110% engagement, absolute dedication.
Yo, Tony, what we talking? 50,000?
I mean, I don't think the numbers.
I also went over another 50.
I went over, but
Not at once. Small increments.
No, small increments. I'm gonna do small increments.
Right.
That's it, guys. Very important. We would be able to, you know, I think we have a team of algo experts on our tech team in the dev support, and you know, we've obviously, I'm sure everybody's seen it in Dex Tools. We've definitely decoded a number of bots that are intercepting larger infusions. You know, I think early on in this project, there were a number of
We're trending.
Yeah, we are absolutely trending, and you know, I think there was a number of very, very, you know, outsized infusions, especially early on when our market cap was a little bit younger and a little bit lighter, and those infusions should have made very substantial price increase. And what happened was, because these bots have figured out this algo, and the algo really is something to the tune of, when the infusion is above a certain percentage of the total market cap, essentially what the bot is able to do is go in, break that infusion in, and essentially sell at the height and actually make the price decrease slightly lower than it would have been had it just been on its own. So the reality is, we are never getting the actual full price appreciation that we should for the full amount of cash that's being used.
You're just feeding a bot.
That's exactly right. So we recommend, you know, nothing larger than 5K infusions, spreading them out, you know, between 10 and 15 minutes. And, you know, look, I know we've gotten a lot of we've gotten a lot of you know, feedback from certain investors and whatnot, and some people are not, you know, overly thrilled, because they're saying, okay, well, you know, then what happens if the price continues to ride up and I'm actually not getting best X? But I can assure you, that is like right now, the dips, the rises, these are, like, what I will say to you is, these are pimples on an elephant's ass. Like, these are nothing that you will see. When you see some of these charts, when we're talking 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, 12 months from now, you are going to see a chart that shows all of these little fluctuations that we used to think were actually very volatile, and it's going to literally look like a straight line. Like, and if you literally will believe me, and you will understand and try to, you have to trust in the vision. As long as we continue to smooth out that curve, smooth out those peaks and valleys, and continue to build this community will reach levels and heights that were never thought of as attainable. And I think that, you know, when you look at some of these other market caps that have been built up, look at Shiba. Shiba hit 45 billion at its height. Look at Dogecoin. Dogecoin hit 90 billion at its height. There is no reason, there is absolutely no application that any of those coins have that we don't. And as a matter of fact, that would... Go ahead.
Can you guys make a pitch, like a small picture we could share that teaches people how that helps them save money?
Absolutely.
Then we can share that. Yeah.
And we have our own kind of group community chat where we've educated newer investors on how to layer in cash, and we are very happy to share.
You guys should
little
over on Discord after.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think I've been told by all the members of the board and all the all the investors that I have to get a little bit of sleep. I've been working tirelessly for this project, guys, and Ryan can attest to that.
On that, Gio, I have to be up at 6:30.
Yeah, so I think I appreciate you.
We'll chat more tomorrow.
But yeah, guys,
Gio, I'll call you in the morning.
Yes, Ryan. Have a good night, baby.
You too, bro.
So listen, guys. The bottom line is I'm very happy, and I appreciate all of you and being able to share this time and share this vision. And I just urge each of you, like I said, the number one enemy of any sort of new coin, especially one that you can see how much hatred there is outside of it, solely for the fact that there is Emax 2, Ethereum Max 2, there's Ethereum Maximus that have come up since we've launched. So the fact that, these guys are already trying to imitate us, and again, what they always say is imitation is the best form of flattery. So I will tell you this.
That imitation will just flow this way.
Like, look, and obviously they may fool a guy or two who gets into Emax 2 or Maximus thinking that somehow it's associated with us. And, partially, I think that's due to the fact that we haven't really unveiled our entire plan to everybody.
Can I tell you what my vision for it was?
Absolutely.
I want to be able to. I have a stack of concert tickets, right? I want to be able to have an NFT of every concert ticket I ever went to, every Mayweather fight I went to.
Mm-hmm.
You share your NFT of your ticket.
Yeah, I think
that's a good idea. I'm no coder. I can't do it that easy.
Listen,
I'm invested. Let's do it.
What I'll say to you is this: we are working with some of the biggest NFT players in the market. We are working with some of the biggest kind of marketing agents and having the access to some of the largest personalities and celebrities and athletes in the space. We are very heavy in the Miami area. We're very heavy in the New York area.
The fact that you didn't say that's a good idea, I think it's your idea.
No, what I'm saying to you is that it is. There are a number. I will say to you right now, there are a number of things under consideration for our phase 2, 3, and 4. We have an absolute direct and I think a dynamite vision for how to create immediate value, how to get immediate reaction from the social media platform, the actual overall groups that have been questioning what is it that we are doing. But all I can say to you is this: in all my investor calls, all my marketing calls, all my strategic kind of planning and vision calls, there are people that are absolutely floored with our ideas, that are lining up to line up partnerships with us. And I will just absolutely leave you with, guys, like, we believe in our team, we believe in our community, and we believe in our project. So all we want everybody to understand is the only thing that can tear us down is for people to not understand what the project is about. So I think education and knowledge is power. And absolutely the white paper will help. And I can assure you, just like when you see this web, so I will ask you for this. When you see this website unveil and reveal, and you guys give your honest opinion of what you think about the website, what you think about the infrastructure, what you think about the time and effort that was put into that, have created, and if you are truly floored as much as I am by the amount of work, effort, time, and quality that has been created out of this project, then if you will afford us with a little bit of time on the white paper, you also have to understand, right? the white paper is a very important thing to be released, but being
I understand the legality.
No, but so there's definitely the legality of it, but there's also something to be said about releasing a white paper too premature and then putting yourself in a box and not having the flexibility to do different things. We are still forming some of our V2, V3, V4 kind of phase ideas. And I think we have a very, very focused and strategic vision for our next move, but we are playing chess while everybody else is playing checkers in the space.
So I'm looking to see the website.
So I can assure you that you will be very pleased with the website, and I can assure you that we are not thinking about today or tomorrow. We are thinking about 1 month from now, 3 months from now, 6 months from now, a year from now. And this project is going to be one of the largest projects you've ever seen. And I can assure you we have sustainability, we have staying power, and I think the only thing that we really need to ensure nothing endangers that on the way up is solely the participation of the community and the spreading of knowledge and the dissuading of the false rumors that are being spread by people who have nothing to do with the project, who do not know the founders, who do not know any of the people who are making any decisions that we are making right now. And, just give us a little bit of time, and I can assure you that you will all be pleased, you will all see value creation, and all I can say to you is buy any if you can, because it'll be the last time you ever see those levels, and you'll be kicking yourself down the road.
But only at $5,000 increments.
Again, very, very measured, steady-paced increments that, obviously creates much more price stability, doesn't allow the bots to get in, and it just shows you
how much sense that makes, man.
Yeah, so listen, man, the last thing I'll leave you with before I have to get to sleep so my voice box can rest a bit is solely that, we've thought of every piece of the puzzle here, and we've assembled the absolute best marketing team, the absolute best investor relations team, the absolute best legal team to protect all of us in the community. And, I think from a strategic vision, the relationships we've been able to carve out, and we are deciding between our top of the line. And, I think some of the mathematical engineering that we're able to do, given the quality of our staff and given the quality of the people involved with the project, is unparalleled to any in this space. I think we are more advanced than any of these other projects, and I don't see a limit. I think the sky is the limit, and, I don't think we should look at price. I think we should look at market cap, and I think we should look at what market cap is achievable, and I don't see any reason why the Shiba market cap couldn't be achievable. I don't see any reason why the Dogecoin market cap shouldn't be achievable, because there's nothing that they do that we don't do. And as a matter of fact, we do everything they do better. And we have better marketing, we have better everything to get to that place. And we will show you what our execution is. So all we ask is a slight bit of patience up front, and everybody to understand a bit that this coin was launched a bit, in solely for the fact that the market was so hot, and we wanted to just get in the market. We wanted to really start building it, and we built this community organically without really any marketing to almost 19,000 members. And the fact that we were able to do that and build a $200 million market cap with none of our bazookas, none of our ammunition being shot, I think that says everything that it needs to say. So
that 19,000 community, where is it?
Well, I mean, look at the
19,000 holders, bro.
Yeah, 19,000 holders.
Yeah.
Right. Come on, guys.
I was looking at this group.
The three things that you always have to be concerned with is, like I said, it's the liquidity pool, the cap, the holders, and the cap. And as long as we can continue to keep that in balance at all times, then we will never have an issue. We always have to ensure, even if we have a situation like it today, right? Sorry,
what's the percentages of that then?
Well, so right now, given the quick rise in market cap, I mean, you're still at, I believe, it's something in the neighborhood of, the last I checked, the 3.5 to 4 million liquidity, right? So the only thing that can really harm you is you have a scenario in which you have some sort of, end of world scenario, and you're looking at, an issue with Ethereum Max Vladimir, that he does something crazy, and all of a sudden everybody's trying to flee the Ethereum network. In those type of scenarios, the only thing that can harm us is where there is only money exiting the ecosystem and there's no money coming in, and you get into a liquidity crunch. So we are trying to build assurances. So even in those end of world scenarios, we've essentially created liquidity reserves amongst our members.
Sorry, what's the actual market cap?
The market cap,
300 million.
Yeah, the last I checked, it was in the high 190s, very, very close to 200 million. We did reach at one point yesterday, we did reach upwards of 330 million market cap. So for a coin that was 4 days old to reach a 330 million market cap is absolutely astounding, and I think it's something that I received numerous calls. From various groups and relations from the members of our community that were just absolutely overjoyed and astounded and wanted to kind of congratulate us for being able to navigate those waters and get to that far of a point in such a short amount of time with organic growth. So I can assure you.
I'll probably reach out to you later, like after you sleep and stuff and whatnot, and just have a quick chat.
What's that?
I said I'll probably reach out to you later after you sleep, just to
yes.
I can divulge to my to my delegates and let them know, like.
Listen, I urge anybody who has any questions to please reach out to me, and I would be more than happy to answer any questions. And look, I think.
No, guys, I want to let y'all know right now, and I think you should post this. The minor fees are really low. Like I'm talking about.
Absolutely.
You should buy
Yes, I absolutely I just put the message out in our community chat of right now I saw $44 minor fees. I urge everybody.
$12.
$12. Oh wow! I would urge, especially at this level.
Is that the exchange fee on let's say MetaMask or something? Or
yeah, $12.
Yeah. Oh, is that MetaMask or is that Uniswap?
I'm using MetaMask.
Gas fee is right now is $55.50 at the highest.
Still, but even 55. I mean, if you saw at one point during the day today, I saw over $1,000 gas.
Yeah, I saw it,
which is absolutely ridiculous. And I can assure you also, the issues today with our price really had to do with more an issue with Uniswap being down, Coinbase being down, and Coinbase Wallet having issues, because there was at least 7 investors who had reached out to me talking about errors, about having funds stuck in between wallets. So there's also one thing that I want everyone to understand is that, listen, part of my strategic plan is I want users and holders and community members to understand that we are trying to maximize every move we make, every release we do. And obviously, like we mentioned earlier, there are new exchanges on the way, there are applications that are being finalized, and there are a number of new exchanges that will be rolled out in the next handful of days to a week. And when we drop some of our largest endeavors that we have planned, we really would like additional means of purchasing to be available so that we can maximize those times. I do not want a situation that happened. If you guys were involved in the Shiba project, you saw in those times where the coin price was going through the roof, you weren't able to even get involved in it. The minor fees were absolutely astronomical. There were over $1,000 minor fees, even up to 10+% slippage was not working. Everything was getting stuck in the system. People were losing minor fees. People could not transfer Ethereum between their Coinbase and their Coinbase wallet. So all those types of issues, I want to urge people to understand there can be times of high stress. When you have a high stress situation, when you have a lot of volume to come to these markets, it is a situation that these platforms were not always built for the volume that has seemed to come. So we are working with the exchanges. We are working with the various providers of being able to actually do these trades and execute to provide more stability and to space out and be more dispersed in the ability to purchase on these different platforms. So I think once you have that ability and you see something that really will make everybody run to that mobile app, run to their phone to be able to get part of the community. We don't want it to have to be one place and then cause stress on that platform and collapse and then have that user discouraged that this really isn't a sustainable thing to use. We want that holder for the very first time to have a pleasant experience, to be able to get in, to be able to purchase their coin and to be part of the community. So if you understand that vision, that is part of the reason we are also slow playing a little bit of the release of some of our stuff. So I just want, hopefully that message and that what we're trying to do and our vision can be disseminated across the community. And as long as that can, I believe we are going to build something that will never be beaten and will have the most solid foundation we could ever possibly have. That is a long-lasting solution, sustainable, and then down the road, who knows? We create a version 2 coin or a version 3, and it's something that now all of a sudden you have multiple different avenues of being able to transact within an ecosystem. So there's so many different ideas that I think I have in my head, and our team, our strategic planning team has in their minds. That I think the sky is the limit for this, and we're trying to listen to the feedback of the community. What do you want? What do we want? So please, I urge people to give their suggestions, to tell us, like I said, we call ourselves a community coin. And the reason we call ourselves a community coin is we want to listen to the community. We want to provide solutions that the community is looking for. I heard, you asked for the NFT of all the concerts and the tickets. That is something that's under consideration. We want to be able to use, our coin to be able to go and watch a sporting event or a concert or go to a game. That is under consideration. We want to be able to say, okay, we can use this coin to transact on certain prominent websites and have certain, kind of relationships within, potentially a concentrated genre. That's under consideration. So there's so many different ways we can create this community and we can keep value within it. I think we are just trying to figure out what the best way is, what the most sustainable way is, and what our community actually wants. So I urge you, please, voice your opinions, be active on the message boards, let us know.
One quick question. One quick question.
Yes.
Sorry, sir. Because I know you're saying some very important stuff that everybody needs to hear and everybody needs to have the information.
Sorry, you were going in and out a bit. I didn't hear the last.
But in the next few days.
Yeah, I think we lost you a bit toward the end. I think
weeks.
Yeah, I didn't get none of that.
Where do you see the market coming out? I don't know if that's an intrusive question.
Yeah, look, I get asked this question often. What do you think the price is going to? What do you think the market cap is going to in 2 days, 5 days, 7 days? It's a very difficult question. Okay, I could answer the question in a vacuum. In a vacuum, I know what we're doing. I know the type of reaction the market will give. I know the type of, I think value that it's going to create and additional, users that are going to want to come and become holders and become part of this community. But the problem with answering...
Sorry.
So, what was that? I'm really sorry. It's very
you got to work on your internet. Just let the man speak. We can't hear you.
Yeah, it's getting ridiculous at this point, kind of.
Yeah, I mean, I think I understand what you're saying, but or what you're asking. I mean, and I can answer the question. So I think, like I said, if there were no external forces, if there were no potential issues with exchanges and ability to have new users come in and have existing users add to their positions. If that,
I got a good question about the market cap. What market cap would you expect we'd be at when you apply for the $1 million Binance application?
It's under consideration. We are, I think we are kind of going back and forth on what the best way to do that is, and what the best timing is. And there's also.
I think you could calculate.
Yeah, sorry, can you hear me?
I think you could calculate. I think you could calculate the market cap or where you would like it to go based on the influencers and the amount of individuals that they could attract to this. So every time you see somebody,
I'm not worried about when it gets there. I'm worried about what market cap you would apply to Binance.
Yeah. Look, I think what you're thinking. So listen, I can absolutely tell you that the Binance application is under consideration now. We are, to your point, we are considering various scenarios and running different VAR tests and stress tests to figure out what makes the most sense so we can get the maximum value out of that application. Just like I said, everything we do is not done in haste. I think we look at multiple different scenarios. We look at multiple different ways of stressing those decisions, and we look at upside, base, and downside scenarios. And I think we then, after assessing all those various options, kind of try to make a decision. I don't think at this time I'm comfortable giving a explicit answer, and only because
we're between $500 million and $1 billion.
It could be. I mean, that definitely is a pretty wide range. So you're likely not far off. But look, and the other thing I will say, I think there are guys out there, and there are coins out there, and there are spokesmen and people who are running certain organizations.
It's gonna grow fast, man.
Well, I just want to make one point, right? There are people out there who actually will just give an answer so they can answer someone.
Right.
And as a matter of fact, I'll tell you a story about me today. I was doing an investor call, and I got asked something similar to that, and I kind of gave an answer. And you know what? After that investor call, I actually, I really felt bad about myself, and I said, you know what? That really wasn't a good answer, and I don't really like my response. And I said to myself, you know what? Like, we have to be, as human beings and as leaders and as people who are providing guidance, I think we have to be very careful about giving answers to things that
you can't give false hope, right?
Because one, I don't want to give false hope. Two, I think there are there are a lot of various factors that could influence what would actually happen to versus the time of when I'm actually going to apply for the application, right? And I think part of it is, it's external forces that are outside of our control. I think that's part of it. And I think part of it is, we have a situation that often kind of occurs that, all of a sudden requires us to do something maybe earlier or later. Could it be that we have issues with the existing exchanges that are getting worse because volume continues to increase and nobody can really execute? I think in a scenario like that, we would speed up our Binance application because, we want the community to continue to grow. We want to see people being able to kind of, execute and entering. And look, I as much as I want every single dollar to remain in this community and be redistributed amongst the holders, I think it is helpful, for people, to be able to take a little bit of liquidity and exit and come back in with it. And again, look, like, every dollar remains in, and each, inflow that outpaces an outflow is going to create positive value for everybody. But at the same time, I think it's something that you have to, look at this as we are creating a sustainable ability to use our coin as currency, as an alternative to cash that is decaying in value, that has inflation concerns all over the place. So, cryptocurrency has to be looked at, in my opinion, as something that is a viable alternative to cash. And it is not easy to create an alternative to cash from the ground up, because obviously you need buy-in from all of your members, you need a widespread reach from all of your members, and you need, a very, I think specific message that people believe, that people want to follow, and that people kind of walk forward together with. But I think that is what we are doing with this project, and I think that is what we are creating with our partnerships, and I think that is what we will continue to do in the future to make this a sustainable ecosystem, so that if this is one of the projects that you get involved with, and that you get your family involved with, and that you get their friends involved with, that it will be sustainable forever. And that is our goal, and that is our vision, and that is something that we always want. Yes.
Would you be able to enlighten me a little bit about EIP 1559? Is that good for you guys, or what?
That is a rather technical question. I mean, I'd love to get some of our I mean, look, one thing, we have such
that's going to reduce fees, though, right?
Yeah, I mean, I know it will reduce fees. I don't know all the technical specification and aspects of it. So again, I'd love to, but please keep that question under the belt, and obviously when the time comes, and when we have a more broader forum, and have a wider range of our
I guess basically I'm kind of wondering, is it a different network than ERC20? Is that what it is?
Yeah, I mean, look, from my understanding, that's what I believe it is. I'm not fully in the know on exactly what it will do with fees, and what it will do with liquidity, and what it will do with a lot of these other things. So every decision we make, right, it can't just be one faceted, right? And maybe it would reduce fees, but then you have to look at the liquidity, you have to look at the price execution, you have to look at a lot of the other things. So again, like, you have my promise that and again, you have my promise that any decision we make, we will not make that decision in haste. We will not make a decision in a vacuum. We will consider all factors. We will consider all angles. And
do holders get votes on anything in the group?
It's that's still up for debate. I think that's all part of our white paper, and all part of ultimately the governance of how this works. So again, these are all good questions, and I'm so happy you guys are asking me this. So as a matter of fact, what I'm going to do is I'd like to take notes on these questions that you're asking and bring it back to the community, to our dev community, so that we can.
Gio, can you hear me now?
Yes. Hold on. Real quick, I want to just take these two questions down. So, what was the first technology, or the
EIP
network?
1559 I was asking about.
EIP
Binance, maybe when you get on the market.
Got the Binance.
And what else did I ask? Anybody remember?
Yeah, what's as I mentioned earlier, where do you see the market cap going? I didn't get my question. I don't know if it's an intrusive question.
Yes, no. Again, I think that's a
next few weeks. Where do you see it going?
Look, I'd like to answer the question.
NFT tickets.
Yeah, sorry, go on. Go ahead.
Well, I'd like to answer the question in a certain way. I mean, look, to ask a question about market cap and to see it in the next few days, it's just very hard for me to answer that question, and only because, not because of what I think are announcements, our press, our visibility, and the things that we are doing, the type of acclaim that it will receive in the market. I think the question is a little bit more difficult because, again, today we had a very difficult event to deal with in the crypto space. Obviously, China, essentially saying that they're not going to accept Bitcoin is a huge disruptor of value in the space. And of course, thankfully, as I mentioned earlier, to you guys, the network that we've built to thus far has not really been, it will not be affected at the moment by the Chinese market. Now, of course, it always is a situation where if you build wealth and if you hold currency in an ecosystem, you still want to be able to then transact, across whatever market you want to transact in. But I think, the beauty of ultimately the ERC20 network and what we're trying to produce is that, you will be able to take, the amounts of liquidity if needed at some point in the future. And even now, I just think, people who are taking liquidity now out of this ecosystem are just really failing to see the full value in which it represents. So to answer the question on the market cap, I mentioned the Shiba market cap, that it hit was 45 million. I mentioned the Dogecoin market cap.
Idea to bring liquidity for free.
Thank you.
Sure, but to finish this question, and then I'd love to hear the idea. But to finish the thought is we are absolutely working on, and the type of relationships that we're forging and the type of personalities that we're bringing on the team, there is absolutely no reason why we can't rival a Shiba market cap. And again, I don't know if that takes us 3 months. I don't know if that takes us 6 months. I don't know if it takes us 9 months. But I can assure you that it is absolutely our target. It is absolutely our goal, and it is something that we want to reach in the most foreseeable future possible. It's just that there are so many external pressures and dependencies that may cause issues to be able to reach those goals and targets.
In the short term, I know you have big long-term plans. In the short term, what are the current plans? What's the current initiation? What's going on?
Yeah, so I mean, again, I mentioned, maybe you weren't on the line at the time, but we are absolutely looking at and have been spending a tremendous amount of time and effort getting the infrastructure, the guts, the platform of everything that we run, our websites, our linking, our social media, everything on the most solid footing as possible. I think we are trying to build a absolute stone concrete foundation for a system that will last forever. So we've spent a tremendous amount of time on a revamp of our website that is ready for unveil within days. We have spent a tremendous amount of time on our strategic vision for the utility of our coin, which will be announced within days. We have spent a tremendous amount of time with how we've come up with strategic partnerships with various ambassadors, influencers, marketing presences. So all of those things are going to start to be released. We have also spent a tremendous amount of time and have been well ahead of the application process for both exchanges and market data providers. And, I think you can see that in our execution and our speed in which we got market cap launched up and verified, that we were the fastest coin ever from launch to acceptance of our application.
Yo, this is beautiful. Like,
I'm telling you.
Let him finish.
I just want to say a point. I just want to say a point. The more you speak and we're having this conversation, if you look at the chart, everything is a buy. Back to back.
We got 52 people in here. We had 30 at first. So
I don't know if they're telling their mom, their sister, their aunt, but yo, you guys are like beyond what you guys are doing with the coin. The marketing behind this this shit is gonna boom, bro.
Listen, there is no doubt in my mind. There is no doubt. I am changing my life to make this my life. Just understand that. Like my entire life has been to create wealth and to make other people rich. That has been my entire life. Working at hedge funds, making the principals of those funds rich, making the portfolio managers of those funds rich, while I did all the work. I did all the structuring, I did all the coordination, I did all the sequencing, and that is something that is in my bones. It is in, like, my family are immigrants from Italy. I've come from the ground up. I from 9 years old, we were washing dishes in my father's restaurant, to being a busboy at the tables, to taking pizzas out of the oven, to making pizzas, to then, you know, being able to get a full ride scholarship to a prestigious university in Boston.
So Gio,
you guys got a pizzeria in Miami?
One second. Gio, one last few questions.
Yes.
So I was gonna say, I heard you're listing on an exchange, possibly in the next few days, maybe coming into next week. And what is the vision in terms of the project itself? Yeah, I wasn't here for the whole call. I'm sorry. I just tuned into the last half an hour.
Yeah, they went over all of this stuff. It's too bad. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I understand. Yeah, I'm just trying to get what I can so I can relay the information to my other people.
Yeah, look, if it's to relay the information to other people, like my entire goal and the reason I have slept probably 4 hours in the last 6 days is I am working tirelessly to get all the information of this project out to as many people as you possibly can, and to have you get that piece of information out to as many people as you possibly can, and for that person to get that information out to as many people as they possibly can. Like, we as a community have to educate each other.
Okay, great.
And then
I'll send you a private message later, because obviously I'm late for you, so.
So absolutely, and what I will say on this is, listen, we are making history here, and we are growing exponentially. And this is something that, you know,
solid chart ever.
We believe in. Again, we understand the fundamentals. We understand how to layer the money in. We understand how to grow the money. We understand how to keep the money within the community. We understand how to create utility. We understand how to create value. And we are a community that will continue to grow by strategically selecting individuals that make this project value and make it worth more and make it a better project. We will have philanthropic efforts. We will incorporate all these different ideas and missions and statements and histories of what we actually were at, where we went, where we became, and where we are going. Like, everything we're doing is to create something that is sustainable for life. You know, I think Ethereum Max was an idea birthed out of, obviously, Ethereum on the chain. The Max is the ode to the tokenization value concept as the yield, and the actual utility of the coin is what sets us apart from any of these meme coins, what sets us apart from any of these guys that, you know, have popped up and you know, tried to create a situation where they created value, they were able to get value out, and the project stopped. This project will never stop. This value will just continue to move forward.
Gio, my idea to create value out of thin air, obviously we all know NFTs go for a lot of money, right?
Absolutely.
It doesn't cost a lot to make one.
Correct.
We all don't want to spend a lot to buy one, but we want to sell them for a lot, right?
Well,
so
one of our ideas,
like a weekly airdrop of an NFT, or once a month.
Yeah, look. Again, we will take that consideration, or that suggestion into consideration.
Yo, Patro, you gotta mute your mic, man. We're trying to listen to the dev speak. Please mute your mic.
Look, so I was saying we will take that suggestion into consideration. Look, we are very, you know, I think we have very good relationships within the NFT space. You know, I think we are absolutely operating with some top advisors in that space to understand what the best usage of our brand would be. Of course, airdrops are in consideration. Strategic partnerships are in consideration. There's a number of different things we're considering.
Because then that picture turns into money.
Yeah, I will tell you one thing. The coin you will own will continue to move to the left. There will continue to be less zeros. There will continue to be, you know, higher percentages. We're going to look at the charts. Hey, look, I think the sky's the limit. I think there's a number of things under the sun that we still have planned for value creation. I think we're going through every different model we possibly can. I think we are some of the best financial engineers in the space. I think we are, mathematically inclined to look at every scenario possible to figure out what is the best way for us to create value with every decision we make, with every press release we have, with every piece of PR that we put out. I think it is all with a very guided mission and with a very guided effort, and there's absolutely nothing that I think will stop us other than the community itself not sticking together and not communicating and not spreading knowledge. If we spread knowledge, there is no way we can be stopped. And I think the other thing that is very important, like I said, the perception of what we are, the perception of what we want to be, and the perception of who we will become will be very important as we continue to grow. Because again, I understand, a lot of these smaller coins which weren't really looking to live in longevity and which weren't really looking to have staying power, just wanted to pump so that so the founders could cash out and could have, their friends and family who were in early get cash out of the project. Though that is not us. That has nothing to do with us. It could not be further from what we are trying to do. So we are taking a much more measured and I think a much more creative approach to how we create value and to how we put together a project from the start to the end. So I think all I ask you, and please, if community members are asking why are they not coming out with things, or why are they being measured, or why are they being slow, I can assure you it's all part of our checker game that the other guys are playing while we're playing chess. That is what we're doing right now. We are thinking and we're planning 3 moves ahead while the other guy's trying to make his 1 move to jump you. We've already thought 3 moves ahead and we've already passed. That is ready to kill him over there.
So Max was saying that maybe by tomorrow we'll have an influencer post so that we can level out and then start growing, that, individuals start seeing green, and then more people just start jumping on. I think we have to see that now so that people can lose their fear with this particular coin.
I have no doubt. That these things will all happen. We have people all lined up. I have marketers that are screaming at me, ready to go to unleash the beast, and I'm holding them back by the chains. And I say, guys, please exercise some caution, but I promise you, I'm going to let you go when the time is right, and we're going to release all the fury, and the entire market is going to be in absolute uproar to try to be part of the community. And everybody who didn't join at this point is going to absolutely think about it and say, wow, when I had the chance to join and it was 3 decimal places to the right, why on earth didn't I, when I'm getting 1/1000th of the coins that I could have got a few days or a week ago? So all I can say is, whatever you do, understand that concept. Understand we get value creation. We get financial engineering, mathematical engineering. We get longevity. We get strategic partnerships. And everything we do is engineered around maximizing each of those spaces. So that is my pitch. That is my value. That is my principles. And that is how I live.
Marketing is fucking insane, bro. Like, what the fuck? This is gonna be some other.
Listen, and we haven't even started. All of our marketing has been private. All of our marketing has been, to word of mouth. It has been to people that are in our circles. It has been to people that we want to create this ecosystem with, to create the nucleus of this. All we want to do is create an absolute, like I said, solid foundation, absolute concrete, to make sure that there is never a scenario in which we have any issue given some sort of macro event, given some sort of panic selling, given some sort of anything that has nothing to do with us as a coin, with us as a company, us as a team, with us as a community. So when we build that foundation and when we really start moving forward and start releasing the things that we have on tap, you guys are going to be floored, your jaws are going to hit the ground, and you're going to wish that you bought 3 times as much as you did. So that's all I can say. And, I have to get some sleep, guys. I'd love to sit here and talk to you all night. But, I get some sleep.
Down. We want weekly airdrops. They're almost free for you.
I will take it under consideration. The only thing with the airdrops, you got to pay the gas. You got to pay the minor fees and the gas. Believe me, it's under consideration. But I promise you, we have a lot of things that will put a smile on your face. So, anyways, guys, listen, it's been great. I really appreciate all of you. So please just spread the word. We will definitely reconvene.
So when will be the next time we'll hear from you?
Listen, I will be checking in. Unfortunately, I have days that are just absolutely grueling. I started at 5 a.m. Typically I end around 2, 3 in the morning. I hope to get